Welcome to the Enlighten Up podcast, where I am going to take you into a deep exploration of what it means to exist in this current reality. We are going to raise your vibes, open your mind, expand your heart, and dive deep into the wondrous mysteries and possibilities of this lifetime. There's been a spiritual catalyst that has set in motion the awakening process of many across the globe to return to the knowingness of self and unite what has been separated. Together, we're going to bring light into that darkness. We're going to remember the joy of living. But most of all, we're going to turn up the volume of our own eternal power and do the thing we're here to do. Welcome back to another episode of the Enlighten Up podcast. I'm really excited to just do a short and sweet episode for you today. I actually have some things in the fire and an episode that I wanted to release to you today. I'm going to push back a few weeks so that I can share with you in something really exciting. So in that case, though, I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry without something to listen to tonight. And I wanted to kind of talk about something that I've been kind of contemplating. This has been coming up, with a lot of people lately. And maybe because we just got some major energy shifts going on and, we went through eclipse season, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and it's been kind of wild. But let me, sorry, 1 second here. Let me just raise this puppy up. And okay, we are good. Low vibrations. We're going to talk about it because one of the things that you first really understand or comprehend when you start to go down your own healing journey, maybe your own spiritual journey, is that low vibrations are bad and high vibrations are good. And of course, that is coming from a very dualistic mindset in the sense that if we're going to have polarities, that means one is right, one is wrong. But things aren't simply so black and white. At least, let's just say judgment is only held within the human spirit, so to speak, at least on this planet. And so judgment is what really makes something right or wrong, bad or good. And so I want to share with you guys today why lower vibrations can actually be a massive blessing in your journey and something you really want to embrace and not try to avoid or run from or escape when they occur. Because lower vibrations, just like higher vibrations, are part of the way energy moves, and it provides a contrast for a reason. And we'll see this in nature. We'll see how, even just if you look at things that are very wild, and then you can look at things that are very serene. And so you have these very dualistic energies that come in, whether it's a thunderstorm or just a pure, blissful, sunny day. There's a reason why we have these breaks and pauses from the hustle and bustle. High frequency allows us to reach higher states of consciousness, right? It allows us to tap into higher dimensions. It allows us to see beyond the veil. It allows us to understand way more than this current reality tells us is so. It can speed up our healing journey in essence of allowing us to get downloads. A lot of inventors or geniuses have this ability to tap in and just get complete downloads, whether they know where they're coming from or not. You have this incredible information download that comes from a higher mind, a higher state of consciousness, tapping into something much bigger than us, and then is able to put that through and understand it and have these incredible technologies, different inventions that we've come to understand. When you are on a healing journey, though, or doing your spiritual practice, you will inevitably hit lows. And the problem with why these lower vibrations are often avoided, or there are efforts to escape them, especially early on, but this will happen throughout your entire journey, is because when you reach that really high and you're like, wow, this feels so amazing. I can't believe I'm experiencing this level of bliss, this level of love, this level of unknown like connectedness. Of course, you want to feel that all the time. Who wouldn't? I mean, I'd love to be able to live off chocolate and wine for the rest of my life. But the truth is, I'd probably get sick of it after a while. But in truthfulness, those lower vibrations are there for a reason. They're necessary, they're important. So, how we can often look at states of fear, maybe anger, maybe grief, guilt, shame, all of the different lower type vibrational energies that we're aware of that are aligned with different levels and states of consciousness. We're like, well, I don't want to be in a state of fear. I don't want to be in a place where I'm ashamed of anything. I don't want to have to always feel guilty for things that I shouldn't feel guilty for. And sure, I completely understand that. And no, we don't want to. We want to be able to rise above at least the traumas and the unresolved emotions that we've incurred through our journey thus far. But lower vibrations also provide a purpose other than just pain. Okay. Uh, Lower vibrations are needed for you to be able to take whatever information or awareness you have begun to absorb, receive, download, and then turn it into something tangible in this reality. Now, whether that's something tangible that you actually build here in this world, or you turn it into something tangible through healthier relationships, you turn it into something more tangible through a healthy body, you turn it into something more tangible, as in living your actual dream life. Whatever it might be, those lower vibrations are a necessary step in the healing process and your spiritual growth. If you avoid them, you actually will impair and impede your ability to go to the next high that is awaiting you on this journey. So, for instance, whenever I do plant medicine journeys, right, they're so incredibly high. You know, the level of bliss that sometimes that you can access. No, not all ones. You know, like they've obviously I've done some ayahuasca journeys that were just torturous, but in most of my mushroom journeys, they're just and one of my ayahuasca journeys, I was able to reach very, very high states of awareness. I was able to see with my physical eyes things that have completely gone unnoticed to my awareness in this entire lifetime. And the ability to understand things, comprehend things. Like, for instance, my very first mushroom journey, I was downloaded with how to heal generational trauma. I understood that the thing that was holding me back was generational trauma. It came through in all these different visions. But guess what? I didn't understand that fully in the moment I saw DNA. I knew that my dad was connected to it. I knew it was his trauma, but I just didn't fully like comprehend that I was also being shown how to help others heal generational trauma in the moment. The only way that I was able to understand that was when I slowed down, when I started to process things, when I started to feel some of the discomfort of some of the fears that I knew were attached to my father because they were getting triggered by certain physical events in this world or just in my reality in general, certain relationships. And so I had to be willing to sometimes go into states where I felt like things were moving really slow. It could have been I was having a slower month in my business. It could have been I was having a slower month socially. It could have been I was having just low energy, like I wanted to sleep all the time. Whatever it might have been, it all came in with a purpose. And it was so I was forced to process and take in all of the information. So you will process the information in a lower vibration state. Why? Because lower vibrations move slower. Okay, it's a little more dense. And that's important because we think, well, I don't want to be in such a low density. Well, you're on Earth. Okay. This is how this place works, and this is how the human experience works. And it doesn't mean that you can't go and experience um higher states of like higher densities or even levels of consciousness for periods of time, because everything is in a way transition and jumping at the same time. There's always a transition, no matter how long or almost non-existent it seems. So one of the things that Terrence Howard talked about on his podcast with Joe Rogan is how nothing, basically how the polarities move. Okay. So energy will move. So if you have, say, one polarity of energy, let's just call it a black energy, like dark energy. Okay. The yin of energy. So it's the feminine, it's the chaos, it's the darkness, it's the shadow. Okay. That dark energy that is also the spark of all creation. Okay. But that dark energy, it can be, you can be moving through that, being pulled towards that polarity. But then eventually, because the way the energy works is that the polarity is always getting pulled back, and so that it creates this wave form. Okay. So with the energy moving in wave form, it is done so through the push pull of the polarities, at least from what I understand. If I'm wrong, like, please someone let me know, but that's what I understand it to be. So in order for you to move through your journey, you have to be willing to allow yourself to be moved through different polarities. So yes, while it might feel good that you're like in this, okay, we'll call it the yang, the white energy, and I only am doing this because of the symbols. Okay, so don't take it like literally, but the white energy is the doing, it's the masculine, it's the action, it's the focus, it's the drive, it's the structure, right? Um you can be in there, you can be doing all those things. And then eventually you're going to feel like you need to move over to the other side where you're like taking some time out. You're like taking some rest, recovering, having to go inward versus pushing all your energy outward. This is a natural cycle. These are the natural cycles which will form in like wave like energy, right? And so, what is wave like energy too? We can, even when we break down the particle and wave theory, particle like energy is more low vibrational in a sense because it's more still, right? And then you have the wave like, which is the particles moving very fast and is creating like this wave like motion. And so wave like is higher frequency, causing like fast motion, and the particle is lower vibration because it's causing slower motion, almost down to a stillness. Now, when we look at this idea of energies, it's like, so for instance, if you were to deny yourself the lower vibrations after experiencing all these highs, after experiencing what it feels like to finally be free of, say, some emotional burden that you've taken on that has impacted the way you operate in your relationships. And now you're in this place and it's like, finally, I've overcome this. My relationships are better. Well, guess what? Something's going to happen to pull you over back into the other side so that you continue to learn and grow. The lower vibrations is what strengthens you. It's what creates the resilience. It gives you it's almost like working out, right? Like you push a heavier weight, that's a dense energy, that's a lower vibration. It takes more energy out of you and you have to go slower. But what does it do? It makes you stronger for you to do like maybe quicker exercises, whatever it might be, but you are able to do more. You're able to move with more ease usually, but it will definitely make you stronger and make you much more resilient. So this is another benefit of allowing the lower vibrations coming in. So again, going back to my plant medicine, there are times where, like, for instance, last night, I did another medicine journey with mushrooms, totally new strain. that I haven't used before. And whoa, I took the same amount as I did on my last journey, but it was a different strain. And it took me into like, here's what's so interesting about my journey. Everything was slowed down. Like it felt like I was being moved through energetic molasses while also experiencing extremely high vibration. So that's what was so interesting. But what I understood is like the journey was showing me was it wanted to show me certain hand positions. I'm going to show you guys a couple actually. You know, I should show you guys a couple because they'll actually allow you to increase your pineal gland vision. This is an ancient Egyptian. I don't even know what else to call it, mudra maybe, but um, wild. Okay, before I show you what I was shown last night, I want to just explain. So in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, this is so much. I was being downloaded with so much energy. I was getting so much information that I was almost overloaded, that my physical body felt so heavy. Everything felt so pressurized on me. And I felt also like while even everything was coming at me so fast, I was also being shown things super slow. And it was so that I could feel everything. And that's what lower vibrations allow us to do. It allows us to feel everything. When we're in that high vibration state, yeah, you can feel that stuff, but it's a lot easier to feel the love and it's a lot easier to feel, that joy and excitement and all that stuff. But it's not easy to sit in those really deep traumatic energies that have been burdening you for decades. And so when you're in that lower vibration, you are actually opened up and forced to feel everything. Again, take it back to like what I just used with the gym weights. It's strengthening you, it's giving you the opportunity because once you are allowing yourself to move through that lower vibration, you will then be in a better position to go to a higher level the next time. It's necessary, it's building blocks. So, as you build the higher frequency building blocks, you also have to build your building blocks from the lower vibrational place. So, it doesn't mean to, I want to say that when you drop into your next lower vibration, it's going to feel even worse than the last one. It's not necessarily so, although depending on your journey, I think it could be possible. I mean, everything's dependent on your own contracts and what you agreed upon. But I would think, okay, what I've experienced at least is that the only reason it feels shitty is because you just went so much higher. And so it's just a comparative thing. And so had you not gone as high as you just did when you went back to that low, it wouldn't have felt so low, right? Because it's actually probably a higher low than what you're used to. So, this is really important for allowing ourselves to take that higher awareness information and then utilize it in this physical reality first by feeling everything. Remember, your emotional capacity as a human being is one of your greatest gifts and part of your technology that you have in this body because from what I've understood from all of the different podcast episodes I've had, where we've talked to different people who maybe have channeled, have had experiences with others, higher beings, it's like, oh, where did it just go? See, this is what happens. I'm not fully grounded yet from last night. I had to actually I had to eat nuts. I was like, oh my God, if I don't eat something, I felt like I was still too floating up in the air to function in this reality. And that's like another thing is that you need to function. Where was I going with the higher being thing? What did I just want to say? Oh my goodness. Um, okay. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know. I literally was just on the tip of my tongue, but gosh, okay. That annoys me. So again, before I show you some of the hand movements or hands positions that you can hold that will help you actually bring in higher frequencies, Um, I'll show you a couple. I also want to say the lower vibrations are important for you to take action in this reality. You can't take action the same way in this reality if you were in a constant high state all the time. Like for instance, just even coming out of my mushroom journey last night, I was like, "Oh my God." I was talking to my girlfriend and I'm like, "I think I just need to go to bed." I feel so out of it. Like my body's exhausted. Again, your body needs time to catch up. It needs to drop you into a lower vibration so your physical body has time to catch up with all of the higher vibrational frequencies you just brought into the body. So it's also processing and restructuring itself, and it takes a lot of energy to do that. So giving yourself that time to be still, that time to slow down, to feel more things, that grounds you. It helps you be more in this reality, and that's important. So again, going back to the healing journey, the medicine journey, why so many people have these super high highs and then they're like, wow, that was amazing. That was life transformative, like whatever it might be, myself included. Okay. Because I've been here. You will then soon after likely experience a super low and it'll feel very disheartening because you're like, what happened? I was just there. Why am I down here? And when you don't understand how these lower vibrations are necessary and actually crucial to the next step so that you can continue bringing forth all of the information and healing that you already did, then you are denying processes that need to take place. You're actually impeding and slowing down and getting in the way. And so sometimes it'll be like, well, I just need to get back up into the higher state, whether it might be trying to find, maybe you want to go to a yoga class, or maybe you want to go right back into meditation, or maybe you want to do another medicine journey, or whatever it might be. You have to be willing to give yourself the time and space to integrate. And integrating means you're going to have to feel the stuff that was brought up. So, yeah, you can have these like super high highs, but as you're like, imagine that everything's getting lifted. And as it's getting lifted, things are loosening and getting dislodged from where they were stuck. And then as you come back down and the high starts to dissolve a little bit, and you're like, okay, I'm just doing my life and everything's good. And boom, it's like, okay, now you've brought this free because you moved into a higher state of awareness. We showed you something that you need to look at. Now it's time to look at it. And so it's really important to understand that although I know, this is why I put out an Instagram reel. I think it was like a year or two ago. And he said, like, I don't want to be just around high vibe people, because high vibe people are people who are energy vampires. Okay. Because they're always wanting to stay on that high. It's like you're addicted to the high and you don't know how to be in the low. And the truth is that oftentimes, if you're so addicted to the high, you're usually getting that high off of other people's energy because you don't know how to create it or believe that you have the ability to just get yourself back into a high after you've gone through your low. And so lows are necessary. And it's like, so, that's why I said, like, I don't want to be around people who only want to be with high vibe people because damn, one, you're going to be taking my energy. And two, it's like, you don't know how to handle the lows. You are in no position to be experiencing the highs that you think you're ready for. So it's really a preparation. Okay. It's really a preparation. Okay, so let me show you some of the okay, so if you're listening to this on Apple or like Apple Podcasts or one of the podcasts that don't have video, you may want to go to either Spotify or YouTube to watch this. But so I was shown, there's one in particular, and this is really interesting. And I wish I had looked this up before I started the podcast. You know what? Actually, one second. I'm going to actually look right now. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to show you because I know what I was being shown. I was just wondering if I could find it online, but I literally only just looked for a couple minutes. So one thing is I had to hold my left, okay, how do I do this? I had to hold my left hand up and I had it out almost like and what I was being told was my hand was acting like a satellite. And the amount of energy that was coming in and out of my hand was so powerful. Like my hand was on fire, it was vibrating. It was just so much energy. And so, as I was holding my left hand out, which was allowing, again, remember, your left hand is your receiving hand. Okay. So, yes, I'm putting out a signature frequency out into the field. So, it's almost like a detection, but it's also like allowing for energy to be received through the hands. Because remember, your hands and your feet are extremely open portals for your body, right? This is where a lot of energy comes into. So as I'm holding my left hand out, I was shown to hold my hand like this. So my finger, my index finger, okay, is pointed up, and then your middle and thumb finger come here, but your other fingers, your ring and your pinky, are bent in a way, I don't know if I can show you, like this, okay? Do you see the bird symbol here? It was very obvious to me when I saw it. Okay. I was told that doing this opened up the Eye of Horus. Okay. And so as soon as I did this in my field and I had my hand out, patterns of colors, like sacred geometry patterns, all of these different colors in the air. With my physical eyes, I'm watching it all, and it's all moving in different areas around my hand. It's all in the field, and it's everything just got amplified and powered. And I was like, wow, I can see so much more when I do this. And so this is something that you guys can try at home to increase your pineal activation. Okay, like see if it works. I would first get into a deeper meditative state before activating, just so that you're grounded, you're heart centered, and you're in a space where you're ready to receive. Okay. And then start doing this, and you can keep your eyes open, closed, whatever feels right for you, and just see whatever is coming through, like how much your pineal gland is getting activated. This is something, and I was told this is like, I know it sounds crazy. Trust me. I know it sounds crazy, but Eye of Horus. So this is a bird. It was a bird symbol, and it starts to like channel in um Eye of Horus frequencies. Okay. Then another mudra that I found I was doing was I would bring the middle again. Was it? No, no, yeah, okay. Index and middle, sorry, index and thumb come together. Okay, so almost like the okay sign, but you just keep your hands, like your thumbs or yours. Oh my God, I can't speak. Sorry, I am still like up in the field. So your other three fingers are just slightly bent. And I would go like this over my third eye. And I would hold it like this when I was like lying down, or sometimes I do this when I'm sitting and I start doing light language. And this is one of the things that I find myself doing. But then also down here, you do the same thing with your left hand, and it's in an upward position. So it's like a cup. So you have it down by your belly button, just below your belly button or right around your belly button. Okay. And it's like you're activating pineal gland and you're activating like sacral chakra. So again, that's like womb space, belly button. You want to, I don't know, you like even just, it's activating that area. So I don't know, like there's something about that also, like I found myself in my mushroom journey, I was slowed down to be shown these symbols specifically. This one, I just feel like it's a balancing of energies between the gut and the higher mind here. And there's something about also I want to say connecting the energies. So those are like two that I'll just talk about right now. I'll share with you guys that I was shown. You guys can try them out. Let me know, drop it in the comments. If you're on YouTube or on Spotify, let me know if you've tried them and if you had any success, or no, maybe nothing happens for you. I don't know. But this is what I was shown. And I thought that was really cool. But here's the thing. I know now after doing that journey, because it was so intense, that was probably the second most intense mushroom journey I did. And the only reason it was the second intense was because my other one was 5 grams of mushrooms, which is where I saw like pyramids and like Kundalini energy. And oh, I had a massive Kundalini whoa, yeah, activation last night. That was very fun. But this one was pretty intense. And so I believe that I am going to perhaps use this strain at the retreat this September. We used a different one in April, and I think I want to use this one for sure because creates a very euphoric feeling, like very euphoric. I was like, whoa, everything is tingling and numb. Like my lips were so tingly and I was like, wow. It's like, man, I would love to kiss someone right now, but yeah, there was no one to kiss. So but this is something that's so important. I know I'm going to have to go through a low. I know because I just received so many downloads. I'm still processing half the stuff. There's no way I could share with you guys what came through. And part of it, I don't even understand right now. There were so many different things. I was shown an orange aurora borealis that I can't even remember. It was a certain animal brought it in. Um, and I have it all recorded, but like I have to go back and listen. But it was just there was so much that came through that there's just no way. I have to allow myself to get grounded. I'm eating high protein right now, and I'm making sure I've already been to the gym. I'm going to do another walk later today just to make sure I'm slowing everything down. I'm grounding all my energy and allowing myself to get more sleep, but also knowing that I'm going to probably have to feel some stuff and I got to be okay with it. Listen, the more you resist something, the harder it's going to be because it comes in with that much more force. And so you're only like going to really make it that much harder on yourself. So again, this is just part of when we think about the cycles and the way energy moves. And this is why we have cycles. This is the way universal energy works. Everything is cycles, right? And so you can't expect, to have a constant high in your life. And that's not the whole point of this journey. That's not the whole point of the human experience is to constantly be in a higher vibration. I know so many people want to escape this place. I know so many people want to escape their human body. Listen, the mastery is in your ability to embrace this body, this reality fully, while still integrating everything that you can from the higher realms. So it's so important. There are a lot of spiritual lessons, crucial spiritual lessons that are found in the lower vibrations. Shadow work is part of the lower vibrations. You want to bypass your shadow work and just keep living a flatline life? Okay. But trust me, life's going to get shittier and shittier and shittier. You're going to lose a lot more meaning. So eventually, something's going to pull you into that lower vibration state where you're finally like, oh, I got to do something about this. I've got to really feel all these feelings. And then once you do, what happens? You move through a place where you've been able to transmute some of the feelings. You've been able to neutralize them through the act of like, okay, I feel it. It doesn't own me anymore. Like I understand it. It makes sense. And so it doesn't own you. It doesn't have power over you anymore. And so now it was just an experience that you fully understand. And you're able to then go into a higher high and be grateful and understand the higher lesson in it and understand why you needed to go through it and what it provided you, right? Like, okay, again, like very extreme case, but like the sexual abuse as a kid, that was a really low vibrational experience. And when I had to go into that, that was very scary. And that caused me to have to go through very dense energies. Like my body literally started gaining weight to slow me down, to make me stop. Like it's like you don't want to deal with this. We're just gonna keep adding more weight and more weight onto your body until I finally, excuse me, finally faced the emotional trauma, and was willing to just feel it all, cry so hard, and with no need to stop it at any point until it was just done. And once I did, all 6 pounds gone in 12 hours. All 6 pounds that I had gained, which again, I know doesn't seem like a lot to a lot of people, but when you're in when you know what your normal state is, and then you gain that over just 6 weeks, it starts to be like, whoa, where is this all coming from? So, but my point is that you will get bogged down and bogged down till you finally embrace the lower vibrations, allow them to teach you the crucial importance of it. And then you get to go back up to a high and experience that. But be most certain, and this is why one of the biggest lessons, especially in Buddhism, is non-attachment. Don't get attached. One of the things that I learned very, very early in my spiritual journey, especially in my self-love phase, which I talked about in my book, Inflexible Me, was when I did my meditation retreat, my silent meditation retreat, it was the Vipassana style, which means they teach you how to scan every part of your body over and over and over. You just feel from one thing to the next and you scan very slowly and you just bring your awareness to each part of that body and experience what's going on there. Is it anything? Is it discomfort? Is it pain? Like, what is it? Is it itchiness? And then you have to move beyond it and you cannot give that awareness again. You have to move on to the next one. So it's teaching you not to get attached to the pain, not get attached to the comfort, not get attached to anything. Everything is fleeting. Everything is changing. And when you allow that equanimity to come through and not be attached, that's why they say the root of all suffering is attachment. Do not get attached to your high vibrations. Okay. That is likely a sign that you might be spiritually addicted to the highs if you're really avoiding the lows. Okay. It means you're trying to use spiritual bypassing to prevent your growth because you finally like, no, I just want to be here. This is great. It doesn't work that way. And I know most of you know that in my audience. And if you don't know that and you're just learning that now, like, then great. Like there's no shame in this journey. The only reason I can talk about this is because I've been there. I've experienced all this stuff. And sometimes I forget. I find myself being like, oh, why am I here? I don't want to feel this again. Like, why is this happening again? But the reason why is because there's moments where we have to slow down. There's moments where we have to take in all the information. A lot of the times, if I don't slow down, I can't create the stuff I'm creating. If I don't like give myself that space to do it, I'll never be able to bring forth the downloads in a healing program or in new coaching ways that I'm being shown to do. So this is really important. All right, guys. So little short and sweet, probably not as short as I was expecting because I have no idea how long we're at right now. But do keep in mind that if you are interested in coming to the Forbidden Journey Retreat, yeah, we're going to be using a special strain, and it's impactful and it's euphoric. Which I think is why we're going to have some massive heart openings. When Erica, I had her on last week and we talked how she's like, yeah, heart openings. So again, if you're looking, I mean, this stuff, Kundalini activation, if you're ready for it, because again, this isn't something you should force or try to push forward. When you are ready, it will happen. But for those of you who may feel like you're ready, this will definitely create an opening for that. Of course, we had each time someone, at least one person, has a Kundalini total awakening on through their either in their journey or after their journey. So those tickets are on sale, and the dates are September 18th through the 21st. Ticket prices will be going up at the end of June. So if you would like to get the ticket prices for where they are, you don't need to pay in full. You can pay with a deposit and pay in 3 installments. All payments have to be in by early September 4th. And what else? If you need to book a healing session, maybe you're going through it, if you're going through that lower vibration place, you're like, oh my God, I got to feel this. I got to navigate it. If you need some help, I'm here for you. You can book a one-on-one with me, whether it's inner child coaching, whatever it might be. I'm here for you guys. I love you so much. And oh, if you missed my reality recap from last week, I actually shared some very vulnerable moments of my journey of dating and living with an alcoholic and what that was like for me from a perspective of feeling like I was going crazy and also what that did for our relationship, my sexual drive, all of that fun stuff. I actually talk about that on these reality recaps. It actually allows me to kind of view some of my past journeys that sometimes I wouldn't think to bring it up. But these recaps are kind of fun. And because I'm seeing people go through stuff that I went through years, decades ago sometimes. And so being able to kind of teach from that place and see what's going on has been really fun. So if you miss that, there's actually some really valuable nuggets in there. So I'll be doing another one this week, which I'm really excited about because it's the reunion and I'm excited to see where this is going. All right, guys, I love you. Have an amazing week and I'll be back with you really soon. Thanks again for joining me for another show on the Enlighten Up podcast. I love you guys so much for all of your continued support. So remember to raise your vibe, find your tribe, and be open to the infinite possibilities held in the mysteries that surround us all. Thanks again for sharing the show with your family and friends. And if you're new to the show and you need to find out more information about me, please head on over to my website, NicoleFrolick.com, where you can join my newsletter. And please follow me on Instagram, Telegram, and YouTube. Keep your light bright, and I'll see you next week.